Hi guys, Dustin here with another NASCAR diecast comparison. Today we are taking a look at two different cars. Well, they both look the same. One is a regular car, and another one is the polished nickel. Well, nickel polish. Well, polished nickel, as what it says on the finish. So, we're actually taking a look at both of these cars. Now, we are going to take a look at the physical features, similarities. Well, basically, there's a big similarity and a bigger difference between these two cars. One is basically, this has the orange. This one has the nickel finish. Let's go ahead and take a look. First of all, these two cars are based off of the 2011 Burger King paint scheme. You have the white with the blue flames, and you have the orange background off two of these cars. So let's take a look at the first one. This first one, this is actually the first ever diecast car I have ever had. I finally got back into diecast collecting earlier in the year, so about mid-2014. So it's a good thing for me, because I finally got back into my favorite hobby. I stopped around in 2008 because they were getting more expensive, and Racing Champions and I think there's another diecast company that stopped making the ones that with the plastic window nets, and the hood and trunk does not even open. And the roof flaps don't even open as well. So, let's take a look at both of these cars from all sides. So, we have this one. It's the 2011 Burger King Chevrolet Impala. This is actually diecast car 1882. Now, here's some things about these. Don't let the number, the fifth line, scare you into thinking that you got the first car, because that's wrong. You have the diecast identification number, which is located on the back window. The main focus is basically the last 5 numbers. So, there's a lot of cars that are common, and they're the rare ones. Here's some cars that are worth more than the original value. The first car made, the door number car. Let me explain what a door number car is. The door number car is the number of the diecast identification number actually matches with the number of the race car. Like, for example, if this was 14, if this was car number 14, that means this one will be worth more. And finally, the third one, the last car ever made. Now, I do have a diecast car that's actually the last one ever made, and that's my Denny Hamlin left turn tribute car. That was actually the 72nd car ever made. That was actually the last one they've ever produced and manufactured and produced. This one is 1882nd. I'm not sure how many of these cars were made. And this one was 25 of these cars were produced. So this one is actually the 23rd car made. So that's basically third to last ever made. 24th would be second to last, and the 25th is basically the last one ever made. Now, another thing we're going to be talking about next is the finishes of these cars, or a special finish. This is the polished nickel. If we're talking about polished nickel, we're actually talking about just one body of the car that is just full on all nickel. It does not count any other parts like, say, the white and the blue flames on this car. We're talking about just one color being all nickel. So basically, the orange part of this car is all nickel, except for these two little things and the spoiler. And a lot of things are still the same. Major things are still the same. Like, you get a much bigger shine of polished nickel from here. And also the trunk still opens. Although all these cars still do that. So you could peer inside to see what it looks like. Let's close these. The roof flaps still open, but they're actually still a different color. Of course, your sponsors are all the same, all same styles. You still have the nylon window nets, which is very amazing. Actually, it's fabric. I'm sorry. Fabric. Not nylon. Fabric. Excuse me if I said it wrong. And let's take a look at anything that I did not cover in the first one. In the first video review. This has a missing hood pin. You can actually see it right here, right next to the registered mark. Near the Burger King logo. Where my finger is, there's a little hole. Right here. There's supposed to be 4 hood pins, except that there's one that's missing right here. I was thinking about returning this car, but it was too late anyway, so I ain't gonna get into further details. So let's take a look what's actually on the inside of both of these cars. So let's take a look at the hood. The hood opens at about a 45-degree angle. This one, I'm very surprised. This one, it surpasses the 45 mark and it opens up all the way. I'm surprised. Like, wow. This one doesn't even open up all the way. This just opens up like this. Like, I'm surprised it can go back just a little bit. So, we're basically going to leave it like this. You can actually look inside the engine of both of these, and they're still both the same. So, let's take a look at the engine on the first one. Here it is. These are the kind of engines that these stock cars race for both of them. Let's close both of them. There we go. I really have nothing else to say about these two cars. Just because they both still look the same, but one has a major finish. This one is polished nickel. Now, if I were to ask which one of these cars are my favorites, to be honest, it would be hard to argue, but I'm going to have to go ahead and say that this one is absolutely my favorite. Because this was bought at a Speedway, and hence the name Speedway Shop. If you're not a member of the NASCAR Diecast Lounge on Facebook, and if you do collect NASCAR Diecast cars, I highly urge you to check out NASCAR Diecast Lounge. I'll leave a link right down in the description so you can check it out. And join too. And don't forget about that, you can join there. Alright, so I really have nothing else to say about these two cars. I might have to get more diecast cars in the future. I'm only gonna do one because I'm really not making a whole lot of money than I thought I would. So yeah, my name is Dustin, and I will see you again.